So while you do that, I just wanted to know how many of you have attempted prelims this year. Okay, I know you are on pins and needles waiting for the result, isn't it? So those of you who are coming from other institutes or have prepared on your own, I'm Sangamitra, R.C.REDDY sir's daughter, part of the management of R.C.REDDY IAS study circle. So today's orientation, it is for strategic revision for mains and mission mains, strategic revision for mains 2025 and mission mains 2026. So as you know, all of you are waiting for prelims results. Maybe in a day or two we'll get the results out. Many students are doubtful about CSAT. CSAT is one of those things that they're not very sure about, but either way, even if you clear or don't clear, we have you covered. It is important that you know that this exam tests your resilience and how you come back, even if you fall, you should be able to get up and move forward. So with all the experience that the institute has and our faculty, we have in a very detailed way scheduled 2025 strategic revision for mains and our mission mains program. Why we have created two programs is many students, for the past 2 years we have been doing our revision programs, that is for mains, strategic revision, and we have seen a lot of success in terms of students who are giving multiple mains or who have given mains the very first time and they were able to secure ranks. In 2023, out of our 26 ranks, 8 students took our strategic revision for mains. So when we give our results out, we clearly mention which program they have taken from the institute. So I'm telling you how many out of the 26 ranks that the institute got, 8 of them took strategic revision for mains in 2023, okay? And in 2024, 10 out of the 27 ranks that we got took strategic revision for mains. And it is important for you to understand that in these students, there are students who have written this for the first time. Like for example, in 2023, Ramakrishna, he is our prelim cum main student. It was his second attempt. Okay, first attempt he could not clear prelims, second attempt he could clear prelims and has gone up to getting a rank, and he has gotten information service in a reserve list. Though it is 6 marks, he was not in the final list, but in the reserve list he got information service. His testimonial is also available on our the Google Forms. If you have filled on also our YouTube channel, you can see the testimonial. It is very important that you all understand that when you are writing mains, it is very important to have crisp and clear, concise notes. You should be able to understand how to use that notes to write and understand the demand of the question, to use it properly in the exam, to be able to use value addition, because this is a competitive exam. You cannot just write what everybody else is writing. You should write something that will substantiate your answers, that will give proper illustrations or examples, and we provide that value addition also. So with the proper notes and value addition, he was able to clear mains, and you can hear that testimonial. All the others have also spoken, but we have put only few testimonials out there. And in 2024, Srikanth Reddy has scored, he has gotten All India rank 151. His testimonial also you can see. Srikanth was one of those students who has given multiple mains. This was his third mains that he was writing in 2024. So the previous mains he could not get or the interview, he could not get an interview call, and he was not able to get a good score in mains. He has specifically mentioned during the testimonial while we were doing the interview also that his static notes was pretty much stagnant. Many people prepare notes or have notes that some institutes provide, but to get an edge over the others in the competition, it is very important to have your value additions that are unique. And I'm specifically telling you, it is important to show that You are not among the crowd that is just cramming things and writing there. You need to have that extra edge, that half mark, 1 mark in each GS question paper. Each question you should be able to score that edge. So he has specifically mentioned how our strategic revision classes and the value addition helped him. So it is important for you to understand that to clear mains and get a good score, to get an interview call, or to secure a good rank, or you want to improve main score, you need a multi-pronged approach. As a civil servant also, when you are solving problems, you will have to look at situations in a multi-pronged way. You cannot have a one siloed approach. You cannot think that I'll just have proper notes, I will leave answer writing, I'll just do brainstorming, I will not write. Writing is a pain. If you think that way, it's not possible, because you have limited time and space in mains to write. So you need to practice. So it is important that you give tests. It is important that you have proper notes to decipher, understand the demand of the question and write the answers. It is important also for you to have that edge over the rest of the competition, because some of them are writing mains, maybe this is their 5th time or 6th time, right? You have All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey, it was her 5th attempt, right? So they are coming back with extra learning from each attempt, right? So when you are competing against such competition, it is very important that you have proper value additions also. So we have designed our program keeping all this in mind, especially our strategic revision program. It is geared towards those who are giving 2025 attempt, okay? So this program, the revision classes, we are providing them for free for those of you who clear prelims this year, because many students we know come to us in a panic mode. They are like, ma'am, I didn't expect I will clear prelims and I'm not completely ready for prelims. Some students might have notes, but it's not up to the mark. So we wanted to provide you that base through our strategic revision program. And the program and the classes, all those are very well planned. Each subject is being handled. All our mentors and faculty have gone up to interview, and some of them are rankers, whoever is teaching you in strategic revision for mains. So it is important for you to know that the tests also that we are providing will go according to the schedule to write 2025 mains. So those of you who are giving 2025 mains, strategic revision for mains 2025 is geared for that. And the schedule details and everything are provided to you. Please take a look at it. Everything has been planned. This is not something where we are not wading through waters that has not been planned. Planning is very, very, very essential, and while you are executing that plan, you will face hardships. Motivation will be there today, tomorrow it's gone. So what stays with you is consistency. If you are consistent and you stick to the plan and you are asking your doubts to the faculty and the mentors, then you will do better, okay? So coming to Mission Mains 2026, that is geared towards students who have probably taken a break this year. You can see the details in the last part, Mission Mains 2026. And the schedule also for Mission Mains is provided after strategic revision schedule. We will release it online also for those of you who are online. So this Mission Mains schedule, we have planned it in such a way that those of you who have not been able to get good main score, and maybe you have given a mains attempt before, or you have not gotten an interview call, or you have taken a break this year because you felt you're not prepared to give prelims or mains. For all of you, and even those of you who have gotten a rank, maybe you're getting a Group B service, you want to get a better service. Even there are some of our students who have gotten IPS who are going to be taking value addition from us, okay, who are attempting again to get IAS. So it is important for you to know that even if you don't clear prelims this year, please do not lose your faith. It is important that you come back up and prepare for the next mains. You have a lot of time from now to August, from August to November. It is very important that you follow a proper plan. So we have in Mission Mains program, if you check the last page, the first part is we have an initial individual assessment. The beauty of this program is we have created it in such a way that we are able to give individual attention to each of the candidate for Mission Mains 2026. Why it is important to have individual focus is you should improve from day one. We want to know how you are writing answers. So the initial individual assessment, we will give you previous year questions for all the subjects. You are supposed to write answers for them and show it to the mentors. We will give you a detailed assessment to it, and then the strategic revision program. The revision classes will be the same for both strategic revision and Mission Mains. Why? Because we want you to know that GS papers, especially GS 1, 2 and 3, you cannot score beyond 120. GS 4, essay and your optionals are the ones that help you score. We have seen multiple schedules and they are going up to November in such a way that your focus is only on one subject for 2 months. If that is the case, you will not be able to learn your mistakes soon. It is important that you understand how to tackle each subject in a very good way. By August, you will be having a good understanding, right? And then you will be writing in-class answer writing in these sessions, and then you will also be doing a simulation test. After the simulation test, again a second assessment, individual assessment will be done for each of you. And then you will have a well-placed, well-spaced test series throughout, starting from August, mid-August to November for all the GS papers. And we will also have separately optional programs. You can take those as well. But this program is geared to help you understand how to correct your mistakes, have good notes, how to understand how to write, how to correct your mistakes while you're writing the test with mentorship. So till Mains 2026, that is next year 2026 August, mentorship will continue for you for mains. Anyways, from January you will be preparing for prelims, right? For 2026 prelims. We have prelims programs also in the institute for revision. So everything is covered for you. Value additions also for 2026 mains we will provide through Mission Mains program. So these programs have been taken, we have done the planning in a very detailed way. You can see that in the schedule. You can see everything is laid out for you. There is nothing that we have left because we need to approach mains in a multi-pronged way so that you can score well. And coming to the team, we have at R.C.REDDY IAS Study Circle, we believe that we will bring the best in each subject, right? So Mr. Srinivas will be taking up history in GS1. He has gone up to UPSC CSC interview 5 times, okay? So has a lot of experience with history subject. He will be taking your history part. And Pasha sir will be taking economy part. Sir's notes have helped multiple students to understand how to tackle economy in terms of being able to answer, be it agriculture type of question or core economy questions. You will be able to understand in a thematic way. So what is most important for the exam in mains perspective only will be taught. This is not a UPSC foundation course, so please don't confuse with a foundation course. This is a course which is very, very exam oriented, okay? And then we have Shilpa Bhatti ma'am. She's not here today, she got sick, but she'll be taking another session on 12th of June for essay and ethics. Shilpa ma'am will be taking essay, ethics and social justice. Ma'am will be taking society also. Okay, so these subjects Shilpa ma'am will be taking. Gautam sir will be taking geography, disaster management, governance and internal security. Coming to polity and international relations, Vishwanath sir will be taking. All of them have gone up to UPSC interviews multiple times, okay? And R.C.REDDY sir will be taking S&T and environment. So these classes will be geared to give you thematic approach of how to approach each subject, and looking at previous year questions and syllabus, what are the main themes that we can expect in 2025. The team had multiple meetings to get thematic understanding. We should be able to also predict what will come. See, there are multiple test series out there, have many questions papers, like there are big, see the challenge is if you have 30 tests and getting a thematic approach, when you write 30 tests and then getting an overlap in final question paper is easier than having lesser tests and being able to cover all themes and being able to get an overlap. Okay, so the team has worked very hard to bring the right themes. You have a question? Okay, so it is important for you to understand that when you are walking towards mains, where the pressures are high, you know, the way they have even scheduled the exam, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Friday you have essay, GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 continuously. Under that pressure, you should be able to handle the paper, right? So keeping all this in mind, we have planned our schedule. If you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to answer. Please feel free to ask. And Shrikant's is one of the stories. There are many other students who have achieved good marks in mains because of this program. And we are coming to you with the success of that program and Mission Mains 2026. We have seen that there is a dearth for long-term preparation in Hyderabad especially, and we want to fill that gap for all those students because we have short-sighted approach. You know, you just look at things in 2 to 3 months span. No, we are not going to be looking at civil services preparation like that. We will have a long-term plan, and proper assessment is provided to you, individual assessment in Mission Mains. So we hope that you will take the advantage of it, and all the programs have been priced in a very affordable way, specifically to help students to achieve their dream. So I wish you all the best, and Mr. Gautam will take the session next, and then Vishwanath sir will speak to help you understand how we also gave you some handouts, right, apart from the schedule. So these handouts are just a glimpse of what will happen in the class, an outline. Okay, so each of them will take up a few handouts from their subject and speak to you. Okay, any questions till now? I'll be here till the end. If you have any questions also, online students, you can feel free to ask as well. Okay, all right, all the best.
Welcome to Strategic Revision 2025 and Mission Mains 2026. Now in general, if you have to look at least today is June 8th, right? So tentatively tomorrow is result what is expected with respect to prelims 2025. So at this juncture, if I look at the nature of aspirants, I would say there are divided into two. One is a candidate who is given 2025. Other is an aspirant who is waiting for 2026. Now, in this also, again I would divide them into two, saying those who clear prelims 2025, right, and I would not say those who could not clear, I would say those will write or target 2026, right? I don't want to keep a negative connotation there. Who could not clear, I will not say, I would say they're going to target 2026 with much greater force, right? That is one section of the aspirants. Now in this 2026 also I would divide them into two. One, those who are going to give their first attempt in 2026, and those who are going to repeat their attempt in 2026, and those who have taken a break in 2025. Because this journey is very long, and it might be such that as a matter of improvement with respect to the main score, generally people take break in middle. Right? If they would have given 2023 and 2024 and they have given interview in 24, they have realized that they could not make it into the final list and they are scoring comparatively less in mains, and when they wanted to improve they would have dropped to 2025 attempt and preparing for 2026. That is what is meant by those who are repeating the attempt. Now here, for those who are clearing prelims 2025, for these people we have strategic revision for mains 2025, right? So the target aspirant of strategic revision 2025 is those who are giving mains in 2025, which is going to start on 22nd August 2025. And all of these other categories of the aspirants, that is, I would say this section, for all of these candidates we have mission mains 2026. Now again I would like to clarify a bit with respect to this. Now those who are giving first attempt, some of them might think that this is an alternative to the foundation course. I would like to clarify at this juncture that this is not foundation course. This is more of revision course 1. This is extremely oriented towards improving your scores and scoring more in mains examination. That means it is more exam centric, not completely knowledge centric. Right? So that is what is one clarification that I would like to give. For all of these people we have mission mains 2026. What are we going to do in each of this? Now when I am talking about the strategic revision for mains 2025, I would like to say one line here that we are going to provide end-to-end support with respect to mains 2025. There is a reason why I say end-to-end, because it's been 1 year old that I was that side, now I'm this side, right? Because I've given my last attempt in 2023. And whenever a candidate is giving mains, what happens is they go to revision class somewhere, they approach somebody for evaluation, they approach somebody for mentorship, they go and write a test series somewhere else, and they get value addition somewhere else. So that means what you see an aspirant between the gap of prelims and mains running pole to post with respect to getting or acquiring or rectifying or improving with respect to mains preparation. Understanding that in this what happens is there is lot of time which is wasted by the candidate. Now for suppose if you look at this juncture, we approximately have 80 days which is there for mains examination, and in this I cannot afford to waste time. Considering all of those facts, we have realized and we have brought to you strategic revision for mains, which would include one, the revision classes. I would discuss about each of these aspects 2-3 minutes little later once I list down. We have revision classes, we have value addition handouts. Now some of the examples of those handouts have been given to you, right? And in this you would see there is a handout with respect to governance, right, where there is a topic on e-governance. In this there is a handout with respect to disaster management, right? In this there is a handout with respect to economy. Okay. And in this you have a handout on environment as well as science and technology with respect to small modular reactor, right? So that means when you look at economy, when you look at disaster, and when you look at governance, you see static part being given as a handout. But when you look at some subject like environment and S&T, you see some topic which is very relevant to current affairs, that is climate financing. Why? In the context of COP28 with respect to onset of loss and damage fund, and talking about the rule book with respect to loss and damage fund in COP29. So definitely climate financing becomes important this year. Small modular reactor, why budget had allocated certain amount for the development of small modular reactor. So that fundamentally means we are very clear where static dimensions have to be covered, where current affairs dimensions have to be incorporated, right? So we would be covering those. Then the other thing that we would be talking about is something called as in-class answer writing. Now what is going to happen is we would teach certain topic and we would give you the ways of representation of value addition on that particular topic, and at the end of the day what's going to happen is how much ever notes I give you, how much ever notes we dictate, how much ever material we do, at the end of the day am I able to write that 150 words for a 10 marker and 250 words for a 15 marker, because that is what is going to make or break my score there. And how are we going to apply whatever we have learnt is going to be dealt in class answer writing, where towards the last half an hour of the class or of the session we would have certain questions which are displayed, you will have to write, and the respective faculty would be having a skeletal approach discussing upon that particular question, right? So that is what is the other dimension that we have incorporated with respect to the program. The fourth dimension that we would majorly be looking is with respect to a template based approach. Now when I say template based approach, now this is one word you might have heard, you might not have heard, but this is little tricky. Now let me give you one simple example, because I would be handling governance. Now for suppose if I say one template, and I would be giving 6 templates in governance. Now one of those templates is, for suppose I would talk about the template of tree crab. In general, if you look at some topic like good governance, that you have a basic definition of good governance, and you have certain components which are shortlisted with respect to the good governance. And when you look at those 8 components which are shortlisted, that is transparency, rule of law, efficiency and effectiveness, equity and inclusion, consensus orientation, responsiveness, accountability and participation. These are the 8 different components. Now here what do we generally see? Either using this template I can write any question on good governance. Sometimes they can ask you, what is the role of transparency and accountability in good governance? In this particular aspect, I can definitely use the same tree crab, but what is the logic? I will not use transparency and accountability and write other 6 parameters. Or, what is the significance of RTI in promoting good governance? Same thing. What is the significance of citizen charter? At the end of the day, that is a kind of social accountability mechanism that is seen and which would fundamentally improve the governance or good governance. Or the same template I could also use it with respect to the significance of social audit. Or sometimes UPSC goes for some general questions like what should be the nature of governance? The nature of governance have to be what? This. Now that means what? This is what is meant by template based approach. Now what generally happens in UPSC is we see certain questions which are analytical in nature. And when we have those analytical questions, it becomes extremely difficult for us to structure them in the exam hall. So to counter that and to manage that, we go for template. If I give you one more example, look at, say, there is another template with respect to disaster management. And when I talk about one simple template on disaster management, we would see any disaster management would have 3 different phases. Pre-disaster, during disaster, and post-disaster. Right? This is a template. Now, in case if the questioning is like, what is the role of community in disaster management? Role of community in pre-disaster, role of community during disaster, role of community post-disaster. What is the role of space technology in disaster management? Because that could also be a composite question from the side of GS3. And there also I can say space technology in these three phases. Or if they are asking about in specific, what is the role of women in disaster management in specific? I can still get it right there. So that fundamentally means what? I have a template. That means I have a structure of approaching a particular question, particular theme of my syllabus. And this is extremely important because, as ma'am was pointing out, we have two very, very strong limitations with this exam. One is time, the other one is space. And such templates would actually optimize a lot of my space, a lot of my time. And that would definitely enable me to get what? Enable me to manage any crisis that is existing in the exam. Right? So that is what is meant by template approach that I am discussing here. We also have something like thematic coverage of the subjects. Now, generally you might come across saying that, sir, generally people say you are covering syllabus, but why are you saying themes? Now, when I talk about this thematic coverage, there is a clear-cut understanding that you have to have. Let me tell you one fundamental aspect that most of us think that UPSC is unpredictable public service commission. But ironically, it is the most predictable public service commission. Why? If I say GS1, I know there are definite themes which are constantly repeated. Iska matlab, either a question of IBC, Buddhism or Jainism, Bhakti or Sufi, one theme among them. Or I definitely see some question with respect to either Gupta architecture that is seen to be existing. And in case we miss a question on Gupta architecture, we have something on Chola. And what UPSC follows is something called a circular approach of questioning. That means if it is talking about one particular theme this year, it moves to the next theme next year. Right? In the similar manner, you would also see one theme which is very, very important here is socio-religious reforms. That is another theme which is very important. And most of the times in mains examination, we see questioning coming from the phase of 1940 to 47. Again, that's a thematic approach. Now, why are we going for thematic approach? Suppose if I say there is a question with respect to geography, one definite aspect with respect to geography is I would see a question on water, one question on water, one question on Indian physiography, any given day, like last year we had Northern Plains, in 2022 we had Deccan Trap, usse pehle we had Western Ghats, usse pehle we had Himalayan systems. So what is observed is we definitely have a question on Indian physiography. And apart from that, we would definitely have a question on vegetation. We have a question on vegetation. Vegetation, forest resources, those dimensions are constantly asked. That is also there, right? So what is happening, what is observed in this context is, I have some themes which I will have to be ready with. If I say society, in society, one aspect is a question on women, one aspect is question with respect to globalization and the respective impact, one aspect is urbanization, and one more thing which is asked on a rotational basis is if one year they are asking regionalism, the other year they are asking communalism. Now that means what is happening, you see, if I am having this thematic coverage in GS1, you can go and cross-check any question paper from 2013 till 2024. This would never fail. And when I say this, it fundamentally means that is the smart approach. Right? The theme, similar themes of GS2 will be discussed by Vishwanath sir. You would see that. For example, just an instance, every year I have a question on local governance. Every year I have a question on federalism. Every year I have a question on constitutionalism, and in case if they are going for fundamental rights, it is the golden triangle, that is article 14, 19, 21. One of these is asked in the question paper. That means there is a thematic approach which is existing in the questioning. If I say the same for GS3 in the similar manner, if I look at economy, the first question of your paper could either be on inclusive growth. If they are missing this on inclusive growth, it could be either on taxation or basics of GDP, and in case if they are missing this, it is on employment. 1 year, one question. For example, in 2013 we had one question on care economy. Care economy versus monetized economy. In that same year we had a question with respect to what are the measures, or how is unemployment measured in India. Right? And we will definitely have one question on land reforms. We will definitely have questions on agriculture, and most of the times question number 3 and question number 13 is from agriculture. There is a pattern. There is a pattern. And most of the times you see question number 4 and 14 is from S&T. There is a pattern. And in case, now this year what is pending in the cyclical approach is a most expected area could be from the question of biotechnology. That's pending in the cycle. So that means what is happening, if you observe some dynamic paper like GS3 also, there is a theme which is repeated, there is a theme which is focused upon. Let me tell you, in disaster management we will always have a theme which is repeated. One is on the basis of disaster, the other is on the basis of disaster management. Just like last year, we had a question on floods 1, that is disaster. Other side we had a question with respect to disaster management in the context of principles of Sendai framework. That's there. And in the similar manner, if you look at internal security, we only have 4 topics which are asked. 1, basics of security. And one area which is pending in basics of security is national security doctrine. Extremely important in the context of the war scenario which recently we observed. The second area which is constantly asked from the side is a linkage with respect to the question of organized crime. It could be money laundering, it could be trafficking. In 2023 we had one question with respect to Delhi Declaration, because that year we had a national or international level security summit happening in Delhi. The third area is definitely border management. Third area is definitely border management, and the fourth area would be from current affairs. Just like last year, we had a question on DPDP Act. Question number 10 of GS3 2024, DPDP Act. Fundamentally means what? Thematic approach. Now we fail to understand this, that is why we are doing this in this particular manner. So in strategic revision, we would be having that particular thematic revision which is existing with respect to each subject, each paper. Along with this, now what generally happens is when we are in the go of mains, we fail to read newspaper. Most of us drop newspaper, 1. And most of us might not be consistent with our current affairs. So what we have is, we are going to provide you current affairs roundup of last 1.5 year. Current affairs roundup of last 1.5 year. This is not towards the end of the program. This will be provided as soon as you join, because time matters a lot for every aspirant. Time matters a lot for every aspirant, and it would be provided immediately such that you can start using it, you can start applying it, right? So that is also there. Along with that, as I was telling thematic coverage, we would have a short note which will be given with respect to the themes which I identified, right? That means which is a kind of ready-made material which is existing, which is covering all the dimensions, right? Then apart from that, you would have the basic notes which is dictated in the class, right? The basic notes dictation happens in the class. Now here what happens is, you have to understand this is going to be no nonsense notes. That means whatever points that are existing, that are dictated, those are mandatorily to be presented in an answer. Those are mandatorily to be presented in an answer, because what happens is, I don't know how many of you understand the science of writing an answer. Most of us think answer writing happens inside the exam hall. But you have to understand, if you have to get an interview call, at least answer writing should happen outside the exam hall. All that you will have to do is you will have to present inside the exam hall. You will not sit and value add in exam hall. All that will happen outside exam hall, all that you will do is what? Execute and contextualize whatever you have learned according to the asked question. That's it. Right? So these are all going to be part of your strategic revision program for mains. And technically, you would have the testing process also, which is done. The tests will also be part of the strategic revision for mains 2025. And what is the structure of this testing process? Now, because sometimes what happens is, an aspirant would want to write every day. But in general, if you apply some understanding to that, what happens is there is no everyday progress that happens in answer writing. That happens on a periodic manner. So what we have designed with respect to test series, we are covering the syllabus, you have the value addition, you have access to the current affairs through our current affairs roundup, you have the thematic notes, you have the basic one-pager handouts which are provided to you. And when you are ready with all of this, we have a test which is conducted on that particular subtopic. So that means what's going to happen, we are giving you the fodder, we are giving you the content, and we are also enabling you to execute and examine your levels of execution. Am I able to recollect that and write? Am I able to add this? Because at the end of the day, I keep telling, answer writing is an art. And when I say answer writing it is an art, it has to be organic in nature, it can't be forced in nature. It can't be forced, it has to be organic, and when it has to be organic, it has to be practiced. When it has to be practiced, it has to be noted. That is where we are supporting you with respect to the notes. Because it's very simple, my dear. You have notes, you are eligible to get interview call. You don't have notes, forget about eligibility, you will not get interview call. I'm being very blunt on it. I have seen candidates writing 6 mains, not getting an interview call, getting an interview call for the first time in the 7th mains. What was the change? Notes. For first 3 attempts, no interview call, but 4th attempt, interview call and rank. What is the change? Notes. And what is it all happening? We are organizing everything for you at one place. All that you will have to do is what? Revise, execute, and the execution is also enabling you to test and practice. Now this is all with respect to the strategic revision for mains 2025, those who are clearing prelims this year, and those are going to write mains on 22nd August. Is this clear? Right? So this is with respect to that program. Now those who are targeting 2026, let me narrate what generally happens with these aspirants, right? Those who have given 2025 prelims, after the result, right, immediately after the result, right, they would not have cleared. And that day, they would have all the motivation. And somehow they will run here, there, somehow they manage. And they would join a test series. Why did they join? God knows. Right? But on the nick of it, they join. Fantastic. What happens? Any given day when you observe any test series, generally outside, they start with polity. And we start our preparation for civil services also with Lakshmikant, with polity. So that sentimental connect is maintained. And what happens? That person would write the first test with full energy. And when he is writing first test, he realizes, or he or she realizes, that Out of, suppose if it is sectional, out of 10 questions, this person is only able to write 5. Why? Why is he only able to write 5? He doesn't have notes, no value addition, no templates, no upfront structures which are fixed, but he want to write test series, he goes and write. And when he goes and writes, what happens? 5 out of 10. And automatically what happens? His motivation level was here. Suddenly it reaches here. It stoops down. And will he ever continue writing this? He stops. And what happens in this process? He stops and he is lost. By the time he realizes something happened with him, it is already August. When is the result? June. How many months did he waste? Already he has wasted 2 months. Suddenly August, what happens? This year 22nd August is mains. So everybody starts discussing about mains papers and mains papers are out. Suddenly he realizes that he has to study for mains. And August also he starts the same process. And suddenly what happens? Dasara or some festival comes. Ganesh Chaturthi or Dasara or whatever. And after that, when he closes his eyes and opens, it's already November. How many months lost? September, October, November. 3 months lost. And in the month of November, the new year vibes enters. And November, December goes off in planning for January 1st. So technically when you look at this candidate, what has happened? He has wasted or she has wasted 6 long months. Where is the preparation for mains? No. And after December, you know, Jan 1st, New Year resolution. What is a New Year resolution? At any cost, I am going to qualify Civil Services Prelims 2026 because I could not qualify 2025. And the journey for prelims starts. Just imagine, this person qualifies prelims 2026 by mistake, मान लो. What is his plight on 21st August 2026? Because 21st August next year is mains. Will he or she be able to do something in this time period? Nothing. Nothing. And what happens? You go and write the mains. Can you expect the selection for interview? Impossible. Because it is a cutthroat competition which is existing. Can you expect? No. You are in the vicious cycle, and by the time results are out, you are in November. And till November, you are waiting for results without any improvement. And what happens? In November, you get result, and you see that your name is not in the interview list. And what happens? You face depression. And by the time you come out of depression, yet it is Jan 1st, 2027, and again you are back into the vicious cycle. This is the actual aspirant mindset, I'm telling you. You would know by yourself. I don't need to tell. Now what is happening in this process? Tariq pe tariq, like that, attempt after attempt. In that context, keeping all of these issues of consistency, accountability, planning, execution, note making, value addition, all of this have been considered. There was a lot of discussion which went on with the management. This was not taken overnight, no. Lot of discussions and deliberations, and we have actually gone for an on-ground survey for this aspect. And we have realized that this is a repeated tendency from the side of the aspirant. And somehow we wanted to put a check to all of this. And with that idea of checking and keeping a check on all of this, there emerges an idea called Mission Mains 2026. I wanted to tell you the background story of this. Because we had already 3 seasons of strategic revision program for mains for civil services successfully. Strategic revision for TGPSC where we had more than 100 rankers. Strategic revision for APPSC where we had more than 104 questions coming from our class notes as well as test series. That is the background story. And when we wanted to be little perspective in planning, that is where Mission Mains 2026 emerged. And coming to the aspects of this particular program of Mission Mains 2026, we see what is going to happen. June to August, it's very targeted, and our target of Mission Mains 2026 was confident transition to prelims. Now here, when we look at June to August, in this time period, you would be ready with your notes. And what is the notes again? It is theme-based notes, 1. 2, you would be ready with your value addition. You would be ready with your structures, or I would also call them as you would be ready with your templates. And more than anything, you have time to rectify certain conceptual clarity aspect. Some of us might be lacking certain conceptual clarity, and you have time here because you are not in a hurry to write mains on 22nd August 2025, but my target date is what? 21st August 2026. That's very clear. So what is going to happen is you have notes, you have value addition, you have templates, you have time to rectify. And before all of this that we provide to you, what we have thought is, it is better we customize this process. Customization here simply means we are going to handle one-to-one. And how are we starting this customization? Before the program starts, we have something called as initial assessment. That means we just want to look at your status, your style of answer writing, your conceptual clarity, your structuring aspect, your value addition aspect. What is your status? We have a 10 parameter approach, 10 performance indicators that we have designed, where we would be assessing each candidate here with respect to the initial assessment. And we would be giving you that performance indicator sheet after this initial assessment. Who is going to assess you? The mentor is going to assess you. Right? Each candidate will have one mentor you can approach. The mentor will evaluate because we will be giving you a set of questions. You will have to write those questions and come to the mentor, and we will be evaluating and we will be assessing those 10 parameters. Such that you have your SWOT analysis ready with you. Your strength, your weakness, your opportunities that are existing. With that SWOT analysis, we would start your revision sessions which are going on here. And there with respect to revision sessions in which you would have all of this. After these that you have acquired, we have something called as midterm assessment. When we look at this midterm assessment, in midterm assessment you are going to write full length test for each paper. That means you would be writing 4+1, that is 4 GS papers and 1 essay paper. Initial assessment is we have given you set of questions. The sheet will be given to you. You will have to write wherever you can sit, write, come to the mentor, get that performance indicator sheet. What is your strength? What is your weakness? What is your basic analysis? We would fill those gaps through this particular program, through this revision classes, and then we have midterm assessment. That means it is what is in governance, we use a term called as evidence-based policy making. And what are we doing here? Evidence-based preparation. We don't want to hit the target in the blind, because every one of us is different. I keep telling my students one particular aspect, that answer writing style is like our fingerprint. Everyone has it different and everyone has one. Yes or no? Your fingerprints are very different. Every answer writing style is also like the fingerprint, which is very different. and we will play on the strengths. We would moderate the weaknesses that are existing after the assessment. Once you have your midterm assessment, now what's going to happen is, now at this point you would have sense of achievement that I am ready for mains. But you have to understand this is a process which involves constant learning. That is where, if you look at the schedule, that is where the test schedule comes into the picture. And when you look at this test schedule which is coming into the picture, we would be maintaining the accountability of each candidate by looking at accountability sheets, and we would be giving you the revision plan. And if you look at the test series, you see that each test is spaced for 1 week. That means I have 1 week to cover all of this, revise all of this, and execute that in the test of that particular week, right? And after that particular test, you have your evaluation, and again you will have your analysis, and for each test we have the same performance indicators which are given to you. Now that means what is happening, you have a performance indicator sheet at the initial assessment, you have a performance indicator sheet at the midterm, and you would see that there would definitely be an improvement. And here also you would have performance indicator sheet that you write for every test. That means what is happening, we would want to evaluate, we would want to have an evidence of what is your improvement with respect to each of those parameters. And once we do that aspect in the context of testing, by the month of November, if you look at the test schedule, in the month of November, somewhere in the mid, you would be writing a simulation. Simulation means essay, then GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. You are ready for mains 2026 by November 2025 with all the notes, value addition, current affairs, templates, structures, testing, evaluation, and in front of your eyes you have your progress, which is seen in the context of performance indicator sheet. Very, very consistent. And what's going to happen, previously we realized that from June to November we were wasting, but now you have finished your mains preparation. For 21st August 2026, you are ready for mains in the month of November. After November, right, now you don't have freedom. Yes, now in the month of November again and December, we would have a respective plan which is given with respect to the revision of mains again. That means technically from June 2025 till December 2025, you finished your classes. That means that is one-time revision. You have revised those and written midterm assessment, that is another time revision. You have written sectional tests, so that is the third time revision. And you have written your simulator, that is the fourth time revision. And this is getting over by November, and from November to December again you are revising once. How many? 5 cycles of revision. Even if I wake you up and ask you, you are like tree crab and you sleep again. That is the level of acquaintance that you would have with mains. And now just imagine, my dear, after December 2025, when you are entering into January 2026, then it makes all the sense. On January 1st, taking a new year resolution saying that on 24th May 2026, at any cost, I am going to clear prelims. Why? Let me tell you the beauty of this. this has an accountability mechanism by itself. Now just imagine, you prepared so much for mains. Do you feel like failing in prelims? No. Why? You already have lot of efforts put in for mains. At any cost, by hook or crook, you will definitely ensure that you will clear prelims on 24th May 2026. Clear prelims, happily relax for 3 days, get back to your revision, testing, again back in the process, going and attempting mains on 21st August 2026. Such a beautiful journey. Such a beautiful journey. And what have we done? We have ensured your performance indicators. We have ensured your accountability. We have ensured your planning. We have ensured your execution. And more than anything, we have ensured quality. Why? All the people, as ma'am was talking about the team, all the people who are taking sessions for you, they are exam experts. They are exam experts. Why exam experts? We walk the path, so we know the path. And all of us have given multiple interviews at civil services and forest service. And in that context, we know the art of writing, we know the art of understanding what mains actually demands. So we will ensure the quality also. And I would end this in 5 minutes. One more major problem that we come across any aspirant in the context is the problem of FOMO. What's FOMO? Fear of missing out. Right? Now just imagine, I would tell you that whole of your disaster management would just have 10 pages notes. Right? What happens? Are you satisfied? No sir, I want at least 100. A number bound, sir, you please. If you make your disaster management notes 100 pages, then it is a disaster. Pakka. There is no management. So fundamentally, what is happening here? We are cutting down your burden of increasing your material. What is given meticulously because it is thought out meticulously, it is done meticulously. And you have things ready, what to be read, what to be left, what to be remembered, what to be left, what to be written, what to be left, what to be improved, and what to be left. Things are clear. We have chiseled things out with respect to the handouts, with respect to the content, with respect to the pedagogy, with respect to the structuring, with respect to the answer writing. And the same thing has been done for Mains 2025, those who are writing this year, and also for Mains 2026. Right? So, if you have some questions, you can ask. Or, shall we open questions after the... Right? We would open the session for questioning after Vishwanath sir speaks to you. Right? We would take the questions then, right?
So hi, my name is Vishwanath. So I'll be dealing with General Studies 2 topic in this strategic revision program. So after you have seen the talk by ma'am and Gautam sir, where they have talked about what are the details of program. Initially ma'am spoke about what is actually the motivation of the program, and then Gautam sir spoke to about what are the contents of program. Maybe I'll take a different perspective and just try to tell what is our approach of dealing with a specific topic. How do we tend to look at the topic from different dimensions, and what is actually what it feels like to sit in our class. Maybe see a topic and feel how it feels like to sit in our class. So for that case, today we'll see a simple topic called Panchayati Raj. Or even for that matter, we can discuss saying local bodies. Right? So when I start this topic, always at R.C.REDDY our focus is very exam oriented. So we tend to see what is actually needed for the examination and cater the content accordingly. So with that in mind, I'll just draw a line to say the timeline of the questions that have come on this topic. Starting from 2021 or 2020 to 2025, almost every year you find a question on this topic. The famed question of functionality topic, where you talk about the effectiveness of the local self bodies, was asked almost in 2021. Then you got a question on whether there was any governance change, right, at the ground level. The next question was on the finances and functions of urban local bodies. And finally, the latest question is whether should we merge urban local bodies and rural local bodies. So in a span of 5 years, you got the questions on a topic for 4 times. So this is what we call as a theme. So when we say a theme based approach, we say that we will cover the topic of Panchayati Raj or local bodies in a very comprehensive manner, so that if you can face any of these questions in the last 5 years, you would be able to answer, right? So maybe we'll see how what we mean by a comprehensive approach and how you would be able to answer it, right? If you see, friends, the whole set of Panchayati Raj comes from a very important philosophy called justice, social justice, right? Social justice, or it can be seen synonymous to fairness. If this ideal was actually to be proposed in India's case, 2 set of approaches should be merged together. The first approach is called as the Gandhian theory of oceanic circles, and the principles of good governance that just now Gautam sir has referred to you. Both these approaches, if we amalgamate together and bring to an administrative structure, it is called the Panchayati Raj system or the local self-government system. So in the class, we would start from a point where the genesis of the concept itself has come. But it is not a class where we would be taking the regular PCM kind of a lecture, or a lecture where you would take hours and hours to learn this concept, but straight away give it to you in a capsule that can be used in the examination, right? So once you know how this system has come into picture, now you will see what are actually the pros or the advantages of having the system. As I said, the whole nature of why this system has come into picture is social justice or social empowerment. So this system provides for political empowerment, which gives way for social empowerment and economic empowerment. Right? All of them are interlinked together. Similarly, when I say the cons aspect of it, where the disadvantages of the system or the challenges of the system, there I would be talking about what are all the administrative challenges, the financial challenges and other challenges per se. Right? Today I am just trying to give a very capsule, very miniature version of how we would deal in a class. But when we take it in the class, we would give you A to Z approach to that topic, so that you can understand in the 30 minutes to 45 minutes when we cover each of the syllabus how would it look, right? And finally we would conclude the whole topic in such a manner that you can use it readily for UPSC examination, right? Now I have dealt with a single topic, but what is the uniqueness of we doing this topic or we taking up this topic at the first place itself, that the team here has researched the level of importance of the question, the readiness of the topic for the exam, and the the importance of the question is, recently Tamil Nadu government has come up with a new plan to reorganize the Panchayati Raj system across the state. There are at least 5 major municipalities across the state where they will be merging urban local bodies and rural local bodies. Right? So now you as an aspirant, sometimes it is difficult for you to see the whole approach from A to Z perspective. You cannot connect the news, the theory and the aspect of notes in a single format. We at the institute, having years of experience, we would be identifying such important topics. Right? Seeing that when a topic on January 1st, 2025, Tamil Nadu has come up with a plan to reorganize the different urban local bodies and rural local bodies into the state and merge them together. If you go back to see the news, in Chennai municipality, nearly 160 panchayats are getting merged into it. So, the ideal of Panchayati Raj was to have different urban local bodies and rural local bodies. But now we have come to a stage of merging both of them. So now our interest is, what if a question comes on the topic, you should understand from the genesis to the end, so that you will have the potential to write all of them in the examination. And to do all of them effectively in the least time possible is the interest of this class. Right? So not to take excessive amount of time to spoon feed you, rather give you A to Z capsule of the topic so that you will understand is actually the interest of the class today. So for that perspective, we have developed such logical flows or perspectives for each of the topic. So if you take in GS2, there would be 50 to 60 themes. Similarly, GS1, GS2, GS3, 4, we have identified around 200 to 250 themes, which are very, very important for the examination, and the whole syllabus will be modeled on those themes. On those themes, you will have the static content and the dynamic content seamlessly integrated. Given in such a manner, you can directly use it in the examination. Now, sir, you said this is all good, but what is our takeaway? What if I give all of it in a single page for you? What if I can give you all this content in a single page where you can revise it multiple number of times again and again? That is the end takeaway or the product from the class. If the core of the program is actually the methodology part of it, the conceptual methodology part of it is the core, where you come to the class, sit and have discussions like this, where you will go back with a fulfilled heart that the theme is covered holistically. But the takeaway you can take from this class is actually the takeaway from this class is actually a single page short notes where the necessary value added content will be present. And this value added content will be of the highest standard possible on each of the topic. So we have a team of faculty members and content creators who work tirelessly to give you the best of the content. So we sit and identify themes based on the happenings or the current events of importance. Then we make such quality notes for you so that you can take and revise it multiple number of times. So this is the end product. You can see here, as I discussed, you will have the different introductions, how you can use it in your examinations. In terms of whenever we talk about Panchayati Raj, we have to mention 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, the democratic decentralization principle. Similarly, you have to talk about the political empowerment, especially women-led empowerment, how it has translated into a lot of job creations and economic empowerment to all of them. But we must mention financial challenges. In financial challenges, how taxation is a big problem and how most of the Panchayati Raj systems in India do not have even 1% of their incomes generated from the tax income. So such kind of important statistics and issues will be covered. However, UPSC wants you to be change creators, change makers. So you should be able to find solutions to the problem. So for each of the problem at hand, we will be trying to find solutions, and those solutions are also standardized solutions. from reports, innovative examples, case studies, etc. we will try to present and try to summarize or conclude the topic in a very effective manner. Right? So this is how a topic from general studies 2 would look like. Similarly, I would say that GS 1, 2, 3, 4 experts will talk on this and would try to give you a lot more better content so that you will have an A to Z understanding of the topic in the least amount of time possible. Right? I think I would try to end there. You can see the structure of the program today we had also. First, I think the motivation was given by ma'am that why such a program is important. Second, I think Gautam sir talked to you about what is the nitty-gritties of the program in terms of the mechanics of the program. Third, I tried to take a single topic and explain to you on how we deal with topics in an A to Z manner and how it is conceptually and logically connected is the third part. So I think this is what is our motivation, and we are here to serve you the best in terms of you trying to clear the mains in 2025-2026. Hope you and many more online will register for the program, and we are ready to give our best. And I would ask ma'am or Gautam sir and me also, if you have any questions, we are ready for taking the floor is open for questions. Online, if you have any questions, you can ask. Similarly, if you have any questions, you can also ask. For online students, there is a question, ma'am.
So one question here is for Mission Mains 2026, how templates, valuation notes for online students will be provided. Online students will be joining like this, how you're joining now to the session. Templates, everything, we will form a group for those who have joined the program, for SRM separately, for Mission Mains separately, and everything that is being provided in the class we will provide to you, and it's very important that you use it in a proper way. What is provided in the class is extra information more than what is on the handouts. Okay, so we are not going to be teaching you to be passive learners, but you will be active learners in the class. Okay. What do I mean by passive learning? Where you just have some notes in front of you and you're trying to mug it up. That's not the way to approach mains. Because you should be ready to answer any kind of question. It's not a guarantee that the same way, it will not be framed the same way. The question will be asked in a different way. So you should be able to decode that question, answer all the parts of the question in the exam. So we want, that's why when I spoke to you, I spoke to you about a multi-pronged approach to crack mains. Okay.
Online?
Yeah, you can take classes online. If you want to come write offline tests, you're very welcome. We want you to experience the stimuli you would be experiencing in a physical classroom. So you're welcome to do that. Whoever is writing online, please ensure you have the environment to write a test. Don't just, if you are fooling, it is only yourself that you're fooling. Okay? If you don't have a proper timer set, take extra time, it's you who's at loss. So it's very important to have integrity when you're doing that. Okay?
I think there is one more question, yeah.
So for Mission Mains, from June to August, should we start from scratch, reading NCERTs and then standard books and then note making? So this is not, see, NCERTs, this is not PCM, like I'm telling you again and again. We are not approaching this with the NCERTs. You can begin when you are actually beginning a subject, you want to understand the basics. That's when you start reading NCERTs. This is an approach where we have distilled all the questions, the previous year questions, the themes, what new question can come because of the news that is in current affairs. All this, and we are giving you a distilled form to use it to decipher the questions, understand how to write within the given time and space for mains. So this is not where NCERTs will be starting. Maybe for prelims, reading some parts of NCERT would help, but not here for mains. There will definitely be some questions which, see, you should always think about cost-effective ways of studying. Okay, cost-effective way, what do I mean by that? Understanding what is most probable, how close I am to the exam. there will be 1 or 2 questions where you have to learn how to manage it in the exam. Like some question like, we had a history question once. They talked about the geographical aspect of ancient India, which was not a previous year question at all. It came all of a sudden. So if you would have read NCRTs in the beginning, for that one question, will you sit and read NCRTs? If you have time after revising all this, you are welcome to do that for 2026. But cost effective, you want to get more marks in less time, right? So that you have to keep in mind. Sorry, I didn't read the question fully, right? Or should we make notes from our learnings till we learn how to do the right approach? So June 14th, the classes will start, right? So you just have hardly a few days left, okay? In this time, if you are attempting 2026, we have many students came for counseling. We have advised them to read some part of their optionals. If you have picked an optional, if you haven't picked an optional and if you have not finished classes, please do that. Okay, do not keep optional for the last, because really the students who get a rank have taken good care of essay, ethics and optional. Okay, GS 1, 2 and 3, you can score up to certain point, but you will not be able to get that edge over the competition if you only focus on those. So I hope, Hemant, your question was answered.
Ma'am, if I may add, I think this program will be helpful for people like Hemant. So as if I can understand Hemant's question is, he's kind of a beginner, or he has not complete understanding of all the GS 1, 2, 3, 4 papers, and can he even go for this program? I would say partly he can go for this program, but one keyword that he must understand is, this program runs on a thematic basis. So we will be covering multiple themes and topics. So rather a regular class approach would be from a to B to C approach, but rather here it will be kind of a theme based approach. That's the only difference I would feel. I don't think he will have much suffocation in trying to understand the topics in a class.
I think you need to have those basic
Yes.
understanding. When I say Panchayat Raj institution, I should be knowing that 243D is meant for reservation. So वो तो basic होता है. And on that basics, how are we going to apply, how are we going to do it in the exam is what we are going to focus upon, right? Because there is a bit of confusion that can I replace foundation course with this mission mains? No. Definite no. Why? I need to have certain upfront understanding and upfront knowledge on every subject that you are going to listen to, right? So that's very, very important, that have to be kept in mind.
Next question.
Anil, yes Anil, you can meet. Ma'am have some queries regarding your mains course. Can I meet directly? You are very welcome. You can come and meet us. Lahari has, ma'am, sir, please clarify about optional subject in this program. Lahari, it depends on which optional you have chosen. Please specify the optional. Yeah, all our mentors, Anil, will be available to meet either over a phone call or physically. You just have to schedule the time. Okay. For online students, we have only live classes or recorded also. So for online students, one day. So
one day,
online,
one view. One day, one view.
yeah. So online students, we do have live, and recorded will be posted after one day, and it will be available for couple of days for you with one view. Okay, that is what.
How can we complete the optional along with semester?
For which year are you aiming for?
2026.
Yes. So optional, see the way we have up to August, because you will be attending classes, you can see the schedule, you will have a very approach that is helping you to get a complete understanding of all GS subjects. So from August, it is very well spaced with test series and everything. So you can take from August, you can do your optional part. Until the classes start, we have advised many students who have written prelims till now or who have taken a gap to work on their optional. We had a couple of students meet us directly who were giving multiple mains. They are sure shot rankers, that kind of potential they have. But they were not able to get the interview call. So for them also, we have advised to do optional till the classes begin, and then because the program is so intensive during that time. You will have in-class answer writing, all that you'll be doing. So after August, when the revision classes finish for GS, you begin your optional at that point. You can also focus on GS parallel with that.
I may add. Maybe you can go for ratio approach. Something like till August 70% of GS, 30% of optional. And that means if you're studying for 10 hours per day, 7 of GS, 3 of optional, then slowly after August you can flip it 30-70, because by August you are ready with all of your GS. And there you have a lot of space between each test. All that you will have to do after August is revise.
Can we start after August?
You can, that as ma'am was addressing that, you can. But even if you want to take it along, then look at this proportion aspect, 30-70. But ideal could be starting after August.
Actually, I think that is also one of the reason the class length is only 2.5 hours per day. I think students will have multiple priorities during this phase of time. Because even though the programs of multiple institutions can be of their own, students will have their own program. Like you as a student, even though you come subscribe this, you will have your own schedule. We respect that because that is most important. So that I think that is the reason ma'am has always directed us to keep the class length to 2.5 hours, do all the activities in the 2.5 hours or some here and there, and give you the extra time to decide on what you will do in the preparation. I think both of our answers will merge there. Maybe for this predominant period of time, come to the class, do all the activity, spend some more time on GS, and for a less amount of time, focus on your optional. Once this is done, you have confidence on your GS, then pick it up on the other side.
I just want to add one thing here. Why we picked 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. There was thought even there. Early morning is your time. You are very fresh. You have to study. You have to revise. That's self-learning time. Okay. After lunch, your sleep begins. You are tired, and you cannot pick up your own weight. We are here to pick up your weight at that time. Okay. So 2 to 4:30, 2 hours will be the class, and the half an hour is dedicated for in-class answer writing practice, where at least 2 or 3 questions, 10 markers and 15 markers will be discussed based on the topic spoken that day. Okay. And then tests also we have scheduled from 5 to 6:30. Okay. And then whenever we're doing simulations, those times we have given the actual timings of UPSC mains. So you know your cycle is ready for that.
I think a lot of questions.
Ma'am, the sheet they have given 1 to 3 one prize and 1 to 7 other prizes.
Yes.
Please explain.
Okay. So mission mains you talk about?
Green sheet.
Last mission mains 2020. Okay. So
ఇక్కడ push it.
I'll address that once we put it up on the board. So it's
On the board.
easier for you.
అదుందా
Flyer on that.
flyer ఉందా on the board? Okay.
We'll put it up and then I'll explain so you know what
We can take follow-up.
Next one follow.
Just
A lot
take
of
the
questions.
next question. For 2026 mains, printed notes will be provided, or ma'am, do we have to make handwritten notes? Okay. So like I said, it will be active learning, not passive learning, where we just give you one paper and you think everything, magic will not happen from that. Okay. So you have to be active listeners, you have to take notes. We will also append that with every day we'll give you handouts also. Handouts will be a general structure. You will have to think through and add those points to the thing. Okay.
See, that means here notes, you might think if I get access to handout, will I finish all of the notes? No. Notes is categorically very structured, right? With respect to thematic notes of those 10 important themes for every subject, that is one notes. The other notes is the class notes, where the faculty would be discussing certain conceptual notes there, and you will have to go for running notes. And wherever it is required, those mandatory points dictation happen, and along with which you have your handout. So what is your notes? When you club all of this, then it is complete. And then it is what is called as your revision notes, which is existing for you to sit and write your tests. Right?
So how frequently can we access mentors? Rachana, we will have, once you are, during the revision classes, you can access the particular mentor, whoever is teaching the subject at that point. And then after the revision classes are done, we will have, you can always email to the admins and we will schedule times, and we will have pre-planned times also where mentors will be available. Either if you are ready with some questions and you want to meet, it can be done through our admin process. We will give you the details of how we will, actually the logistics of it, we will give you those details. But there will be some days where you have questions, you want to talk immediately. We will try to arrange that because each of our mentors is in different places, places I mean, some of them are working, some of them are directly as faculty here. So based on their class schedules and everything, we will arrange the meet needed. But there will be some days where there is scheduled time where we will call you to come and get your questions clarified from each mentor. Your individual assessments, they will be done, and it's very important that initial assessment for Mission Mains 2026, you should write the answers. We will give you the instructions for it. Write the answers and bring them. Even if you don't know anything about answer writing, I want you to write so you can see your progress from the beginning, how you have improved in answer writing.
Optional subject.
Right. Somebody is asking, is optional anthropology included in the strategic revision program for 2026? For anthropology, we have a similar program. I think I had already done my basic orientation with respect to anthropology, right? Strategic revision for Mains 2025 anthropology is there, and Mission Mains 2026 anthropology is there. That is a separate course. Whatever we have discussed today is for general studies, right? Strategic revision for Mains, we had it in 2024 also. Right now, the same aspect we are going to have for 2025 as well as those who are targeting for 2026. The schedules are different, the class timings are different, the course is different, the program is different, and the subject is different. Right? We have that for anthropology. Right?
Sumapriya, you have a question about details about mentorship process. Could you specifically mention what part of mentorship? So mentorship entails a lot of things. It entails what to read, what sources to read. We are giving you that in the revision classes. If you are making mistakes in writing answers, how to correct those, checking your answers. Mentors are not going to evaluate from scratch, okay? How we are going to look at it is, evaluators, we have a set of evaluators also. When you are writing tests at the institute, those evaluations will be done in a very in-depth way, giving you feedback and everything. Mentors will be, if suppose you write another answer apart from what the tests are being conducted, they will give you an understanding of what mistakes, how you could better that answer, and giving you feedback about it. Giving you feedback on where your gaps are in terms of understanding. If you don't know how to tackle certain aspect of that topic, how to do it. Those things, if there is anything, we wanted to show you the parameters. We have also discussed the different parameters that during the assessment that we will be doing. That is also ready. You will get a sheet of the parameters, how your understanding of the question is, how you have, did you address all parts of the question, did you write proper introductions, is the body properly structured, all these parts, parameters will be tested in the...
Ma'am was talking about evaluators, right? Now generally there is a very wrong notion outside regarding evaluators that anybody and everybody evaluates, right? Because there are instances where evaluators are those people who never cleared prelims also outside. But at this institution, it's a policy from the side of the management that only those who have given civil services interview, not even forest service interview, only those who have given civil services interview are part of our evaluation team, right? It's a very, very important highlight. It is not any random person is considered as an evaluator at this institution. Please emphasize on that.
Yeah, that we didn't discuss about the evaluators, but thanks to the question, we can address it. Our evaluators, all of them have gone up to interview. Some of them are rankers, but rankers, if they are into training, we might not be able to get them, but they are ready to mentor and do. I'm not giving names also right now because I know they are waiting for training as well. So whoever is evaluating definitely has appeared at civil services interview. Okay. And some of you are asking how many tests for a week. Rachna, please take a look at the schedule. For online also, we have posted the schedules. Everything, all the tests, dates and timings are given here. Okay. Rajesh, you're saying you don't know the basics of answer writing at all. It's okay. In Mission Mains, you teach from scratch for Mains answer writing. Yes. So Mains answer writing, first of all, the definitive words, all those things, we will give you sheets to understand that. We will be directly approaching the themes, structures for answer writing. So as you are practicing in class answer writing, you will develop those skills. Even if you have not done any answer writing before as well, you can definitely join the program because for Mission Mains 2026, you have enough time to improve. That is the proposition. See, I personally, after the 2024 results had come out, see, the mission of the institute is to help students solve the problems that they are facing. So we have seen that many students are not able to understand what to do for the long term. They're running from pillar to post just to solve short-term problems. But we, as an institute with such an experience as the management, we have come up with this program, Mission Mains, to solve that problem. We don't want our students coming from the south. I'm talking about South India altogether. There are students coming from North India also who have gotten ranks, taken our strategic revision. So it is very important for you to utilize it, and remember that consistency is the key. It is not motivation. Today it will be 100%, next day it will be 50%, but please be consistent. That's all we are asking you to do. Right?
Next.
Timings of classes are also given in the sheet.
Any
clash between anthropology revision classes and main classes?
There will not be any clash with respect to anthropology revision classes and GS revision classes. No. Right. I think we have taken care with respect to the timings of that.
Are we done with those?
No, ma'am. I think 24 messages are there.
Okay. I'll just take a break off of the online questions and address your question here. There was a question from somebody in the offline place. Why these three are considered as, can you see? So these three, that is the initial individual assessment, strategic revision and the full-length simulation test. We have given this for an affordable price so you can see the benefit of it. Why we have separated these three and why all this is coming at a different price. And this is also very affordable. So that we as an institute, we know people come from different economics backgrounds and have a lot of priorities and constraints. Keeping that in mind, we wanted you to know, we didn't want you to lose out on it because even this price is a very affordable price, whatever we're talking about, from 1 to 7. Nobody will give you mentorship, test series, evaluation, revision program, everything for that price. Okay, so why did we, is it not working? So why did we separate is, so you can initially take these three, or I would say separately we might not provide this later because we have a set of team, that we have decided based on the numbers, right? We don't want to inundate ourselves with so much that we cannot handle. So I would strongly recommend, if you want to go for Mission Mains, please go for this option. Okay? But we have just given you another option, but after this, joining this part, we don't have that right now. And it's very important for you to understand that you cannot have piecemeal approach. We want you to think ahead be prepared with a proper plan till 2026 mains. It should be in such a way, like Ms. Gautam was saying, that you are prepared so well for mains by you'll put all your efforts to clear prelims that year, so that you can sit and write the exam. And we are taking care of prelims also at this institute with proper revision programs and test series. Our teams are very strong. Whoever does all the planning, and as the management, we are very much involved. We are not somewhere. Every student in the institute has my phone number, okay? And it's very important that even if you are not a student of R.C.REDDY IAS Study Circle, I want you to know that you will have access to me as well to speak about any other problems you have, okay? Was your question addressed? Okay, sure, thanks. Okay, ma'am, I have not made any notes for main specifically, but prepared for prelims in a good way and worked on basics. There is a probability I clear prelims. Will the course be helpful for me to attempt? Definitely, it will help you, especially because you said, Pramod, that you don't have notes. It will definitely help you. We don't want you to feel that you have given a unprepared attempt. At least you can gather the themes, the notes, practice answers, and do test series, because test series, we will be giving priority to those who are giving Mains 2025. First, evaluations will happen for them, because those who are giving 2026, your test series will begin after August, but you will be doing in-class answer writing practice, and you will be doing simulation test along with those who are writing 2025 mains. So you are going to take a simulation test so ahead. Why is it many students don't take? When I say simulation, actually Friday essay, next day you will have GS1 in the morning, GS2, GS3 and GS4. People who don't experience it, they have no physical stamina to finish the paper. Even mental stamina they will not have. Okay? Mission, like mains is a marathon. You should learn to endure. You should be able to experience endurance. You should show that. So that's why we want you to experience simulation ahead, so that you will know what are your shortcomings and be prepared for that. And then definitely, Pramod, it will help you. There was second part of the question also, something. Just put it up. And how many days before the exam? Okay, I don't see the full question there, Pramod. How many days? You can, everything is given here. There is, okay, how many days before the exam the major part of classes are completed? Pramod, you can look up, we have posted, go back to the chat window, you will be able to see the schedule. We have timed it in such a way, this time there is less time for between prelims and mains. It was not the case in 2023 and 24 also, it was a little better. But 25 and 26 schedules are out for prelims and mains, and the time is not very we don't have good time there, but we have scheduled it such a way that by 6th August classes will be done and tests also will be running parallelly for you. Okay, so you will be finishing your simulation from 10th to 12th August. So 10 days before the exam you will be done. Tests and revision, everything will be done by then. Yeah, it is on posted, Kishore? Is it posted? Mission mains schedule is posted. Both mission mains and strategic revision schedules have been posted. Ma'am, please give us a plan for Mission 2026 students of daily schedule so we can follow and be okay. So Hemant, every day pretty much is covered up to August for you. Okay, and after you write the simulation, like we mentioned, we'll be doing a midway assessment for you based on your strengths, and this midway assessment will be done by individual subject faculty. Each subject will be dealt with by the initial assessment. We will be doing it one mentor who has, because all our mentors have given civil services exam. So one person, one mentor will be doing your individual assessment. This will be subject specific. So when you are going through this, we will give you a plan as to where your strengths and weaknesses are and everything. Okay, so like I mentioned, each faculty will be dealing with specific subjects. We'll put it up on the sheet also, like your Google form. We'll put up the schedule and we'll tell you, because I already mentioned, but again I will mention it on the Google sheet, who is teaching what subject, okay? Okay, Anil, exactly to 76 days I think, but we have planned it. So you can see the schedule. I think that will give you a better understanding how we have planned it. If you have more questions, please come and meet our mentors. Vinay, will there be Telugu literature optional mentorship for test series 2026, ma'am? Vinay, we will let you know about that. Please leave your phone number. We will get back to you about it. Okay, Kishore, please. Okay, they're asking for re-uploading schedule. We will upload it again. Schedule will also be put up in the Google form. All of you have gotten physical copies, online digital copies there. Okay, Rajkumar, how to start, you want to address as a beginner, how to start preparing for mains and prelims at a time. Rajkumar, please leave your phone number. We will address that because when you are a beginner, the approach will be a little different. So we want to address we want to know what you have prepared so far and then address. Ma'am, can you please post schedule? We'll do that. That's it. Okay. So that's all for online. If there are any questions here, please feel free to ask. The classes will begin on 14th. And all our early bird, everything will be done by June 12th. There is also an early bird offer that we have given. Already the price is very affordable. We have given early bird also. So we want you to avail this, and if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to ask us, okay? All the best. PSI or optional question?
I will be taking PSI optional.
My question.
Okay.
Yes, you take it.
Yes. So hi, my name is Vishwanath. I will be taking the PSI or optional in the revision program. So we will be dealing with all the topics 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B in such a way that you will be good with your conceptual understanding and able to write your answers. Because in PSCR we understand there is a lot of content available in the market, too much of content, but people are not very sure about what to write in the answers to the requirement of the question. That is actually our most and fundamental question that we will be dealing with.
There is one more question about how to contact.
What is the schedule for that?
Schedule will be coming up by next week. Then we'll post it on the group actually.
There's a question about facility for contacting mentors online. Uha, are you talking about now or after you join the program? If it is now, you can reach the number that we have given on the brochure, 707-565-2127. You can message to this number if you want to contact the mentors. If you're not present in Hyderabad, you can message this number to get a schedule for the mentor if you want to speak to them. But once you've joined the program, we have planned out logistics of how we'll deal with how you will discuss with mentors and all for online students. We'll put it out. Okay, after joining the program, like I mentioned, there will be certain days where you will want to talk on the day itself. So we will address those in the sheet. We'll have like a sheet given to you how to do that, logistics of it. Yeah, is it free for who cleared prelims 2025? Yes. The revision program is free. The strategic revision, for those of you who are going to clear prelims 2025, the strategic revision for mains course is given free, but the test series is paid. Okay. Which subject you will be dealing with, ma'am? I am the subject that is bringing all these people. It's not just me. That is why I always introduce as part of the management, R.C.REDDY sir, Raja sir, Deepti ma'am, who is my sister, and myself. We all work together to bring you the best faculty, the best program at an affordable price. So managing that is a task in itself. So ensuring everything goes through smoothly. So that is what we do. Telugu literature optional mentorship. Okay. Yeah, we'll reach out to you, Vinay. Okay. So you have sat well on a Sunday. So hope you have a good rest of the day. All the best to you. We want to see you in flying colors and wish you all the best. Okay. Thank you.